All right, here we go. Quiet! Roll 'em!
Terminator Dark Fate was directed by Tim Miller and produced by James Cameron and stars Linda Hamilton, Mackenzie Davis, Natalie Reyes, Gabriel Luna, and Arnold Schwarzenegger. And this is now the third movie supposed to be in the franchise, but it's actually the sixth movie. So what they did is they basically erased out of the franchise chronologically Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, Terminator 4, Salvation with Christian Bale, and Terminator 5, Genesis with Emilia Clarke. And what they did is, so Terminator Dark Fate is a direct sequel from Terminator 2. So you have Terminator, Terminator 2 Judgment Day, and Terminator Dark Fate, which makes the franchise's story way more consistent and more sense, because in 3 and then in 4 and 5 and in 5 especially, they changed the story up. It's so weird, it made started to make no sense at all anymore. So this time the story is more consistent. It's fun to see some of the characters back, but this movie is kind of a mixed bag for me, because the biggest problem with this movie is it's exactly the same as Terminator 2. There's nothing new about this movie. It's exact story, the story and the plot and everything is exactly the same as Terminator 2. Like, except for 1 or 2 small changes here and there, it's exactly the same as Terminator 2. Story-wise, plot-wise, just this time you have Linda Hamilton back as this badass Terminator hunter, and you have a different version of Arnold Schwarzenegger's T-800. And like I said, except for these few changes, like the overall is because of one thing that they changed in the past after Terminator 2, it just becomes, now this new person becomes like this big, the whole story what I'm about to explain. It's the exact same movie as Terminator 2. They send yet again another person to protect this other person who is supposed to be this big deal in the future, and they send a new Terminator version to kill that person. Just this time, the person they sent to protect is not a full-on Terminator. It's a human with advances. That's what they keep saying in the movie. Like, she's part Terminator, you could say. She's strong like one, but still human. Like, she still has a lot of humanity. And for her character, I must really say, is the weakest one out of the entire movie. Her character was the least interesting, the least engaging, really. And they also have like this weird thing, like every couple hours her body like shuts down because she needs some supplements, which kind of becomes kind of annoying after a while. It's just like, oh, here we go again. It's just like, it wasn't the best, it wasn't the most interesting character they could have put there. Yet it was fun to see like this half human, half Terminator. Other than that, her character wasn't really that interesting, or her backstory with it. Like, even the new person they said to protect, they even say in the movie what it is. Like I said, in Terminator 2. The only the real fun parts of this movie is Linda Hamilton as the Terminator hunter, Arnold Schwarzenegger, who is the best part of this movie. Like, he's always the funniest, and he's always as soon as he's on screen, this movie just gets better, because it's like, he is the Terminator. You cannot have a movie without him, and he's just fun and loving, and he's great. It's the best role he ever plays. So I really liked him in the movie. Gabriel Luna was also fun in this movie as this new Terminator. Like, this is what I like. This new version of the Terminator that's combined with the liquid Terminator and the normal skeleton Terminator. They combined it, and it has a lot of more stuff that can do that the other one. It can change to different people. It can, grab to the different material and attach it to itself, and be more powerful. That was really fun. It's just, it becomes this running thing is where, they fight it, they defunction it, or they hit it like that it it gets slow or destroyed for some sort, but then it just puts himself back together and hunts them again. And it goes like this, just to show like the indestructibility of this Terminator. Just after a while, it kind of becomes, okay, when you finally gonna kill this thing, because like it keeps coming back. It's just every scene. What's fun to see in a while, but just like, it's like the same thing happens again. They run, he finds them, they fight, they dismantle him somehow, he comes back. They run, they fight, they dismantle him, and over until the last act where, big things finally happen. Some characters' deaths, some character changes and all that. I think would have been a better movie to see, actually, is Linda Hamilton as she hunts Terminators. I think that would have been a way better movie than this, because like I said before, I know I'm repeating myself, but this is just a remake of Terminator 2. with Linda Hamilton added. I think it would be more fun to see if they would made a movie about Linda Hamilton. You know, they can have that change that they have at the beginning of the movie to have this movie, and but have her. Why don't we see the movie of her hunting Terminators? Like that, I think would be a cool, fun movie you can do because it would be something new, a fresh storyline. Because how many times are we going to send back a Terminator to protect somebody? You know, it becomes over, it becomes boring at some point. Like, and you have Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, together with her hunting Terminators together, you know, or something else with it. Like, I think that would have been a way better movie, like to see Linda Hamilton be her the main character, be her the driving force. And you can have other characters, but like just to make a remake out of Terminator 2 again with just a few, seriously, like 2-3 changes. Other than that, they even say in the movie, like, you're just like him. And it's just, that was like the weakest point. Now I must say, the movie is entertaining. I mean, yes, when you see Arnold Schwarzenegger fight the other Terminator, I was smiling because it's the freaking Terminator fighting shit and punching shit. So of course I'm going to be happy. But I really think what the main problem of this movie is like, and now even especially since James Cameron came back as a producer, I don't know why he will not ever direct another one. Maybe because he cannot come up with another story. Tim Miller did a great job directing the movie. Like, it visually looks good. The action is really good in the movie. That's what I must say. Like, the way they shoot the action is nice and wide angles. You can see everything. You can see the fight. So that was done very good. You know, it's never like shaky cam or extreme close-ups. Every time they fight, it's always in a nice wide angle so you can see and enjoy it. That was really done really good. Like I said, Arnold Schwarzenegger is great in the movie as always. Linda Hamilton was great in the movies. As far as the other, and the new character played by Gabriel Luna, the new Terminator, he was fun. As far as the other characters, it's like, because they are the same characters from Terminator 2, those characters, they were fine, they were okay, but they really didn't add it much, you know, and it's just, like I said, it's the same story over again. So in a way, it was kind of disappointing. It's still better than, you know, Terminator 3, 4, and 5, because, you know, Terminator 2, it's such a great movie. To summarize this movie the best way, this movie is exactly like The Force Awakens. Dark Fate is a great reboot of Terminator 2. This is really the best summarizing I can make of this movie. It's the same like Force Awakens. Force Awakens is an entertaining movie and fun to see, but it's just another reboot version of Episode 4. You know, so that's like the thing. I'm gonna give this movie a 6 out of 10. Terminator Dark Fate, I would say go see it. Like I said before, it has entertaining parts, the action is good, Linda Hamilton and Arnold Schwarzenegger are fun in the movies. It's just like, you know, don't expect to see some new, grand, awesome, you know, different story than the stuff we've seen before. It's the same thing, but, you know, it's fine. Thanks everybody for watching, and as always, see you next time.
Cut!